Guti. So, ich würde sagen, auf geht's. Hoffentlich Endspurt für das wieder aufgebaute. Wow. Alter, sieht das geil aus, okay? Ja, das jahre Gemach ist scheinbar schon gut dabei, ne? Ja, krass. Holla die Waldfee, Leute. Holla die Waldfee. Habt ihr schon ganz schön viel geschaffen, ne? Wollen wir da jetzt mal gucken, was die da machen?
Look! The jade chamber is floating into the sky!
Mhm.
But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Krass.
Hey, Byron! And hey, Beto! And hey! Person Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced.
Okay. Der macht ja auch Sinn.
Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level.
Okay.
And once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks.
Okay. Alles klar, macht ja auch Sinn. Spart man sich ja Kräne und Co.
The
bisschen.
remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Okay.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wie?
Wow,
Was?
can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Beto? You're joining the jade chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Tja, hat wohl nicht gereicht, ne? War wohl zu kleines Klümpchen.
So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Hallo, Yunjin. Ja, die haben ja schon auf C6.
Greetings.
Yeah.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is, sorry, not sure we've met.
Shenhe.
Genau.
I am their friend.
Richtig.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew.
Alles klar.
Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed.
Ja, sehr gut. Na dann. Weiß noch nicht. Ja, sie ist ja auf jeden Fall erstmal in dem Geo-Team von mir drin. Ob wir uns da gut verstehen werden, gute Yunjin, ich weiß es noch nicht. Wir müssen dich da erstmal im Team testen. So. In einem 4-Mann-Team, ne? Also nicht im Team. Egal, wir machen weiter.
With you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side. Wow. So it looks like the 3 of us are competitors now.
So 3 Konkurrenten. Sie hat ja gesagt, die ersten 3, die ihre Mission erfüllen, kriegen eine Frage beantwortet.
But are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
Na dann.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us.
Ich kein Problem mit.
Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think? Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yoon. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all three of us managed to get our hands on it. The two remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other two can hop on the bandwagon.
Ja, das ist richtig.
How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Ich glaube, so hat es gemeint. Beide.
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town
Ja, wir
and
haben ja-
seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Also erstmal, wir haben ja sehr viel Eisen, ne? Wir haben auch Nachtjahre, außer Kollaps, das kriegen die nicht. Das kriegen die definitiv nicht. Auf die Schmiedekünste von Herrn Zhang kann man sich auf jeden Fall verlassen, ne?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory.
Ja, das ist
I'm gonna
richtig.
take off. See you later.
Die ganzen Bauarbeiter, die brauchen eh keine Fragen stellen. So. Mal Futter bei die Fische, ne?
Wait, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang, Yunjin?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Okay.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Mhm. Ja, gut zu wissen. Aber kann man da nicht bessere Fragen stellen als, wo mache ich den besten Auftritt? Naja, von mir aus. Gut. Wir holen uns mal dahinter das nächste Dingens, ne? Irgendwo hier drüben. Das ist der Schmied, ne? Ja, das sollte der Schmied sein. Hey, Herr Zhang. Auf geht's.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a wonder core.
Na, ich hoffe, dass seine Antwort ja ist, sonst ist es ja nur ein zweitrangiger Schmied.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
Ja, dann rede mal.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon.
Also er hier, der Herr Zhang, ist auf jeden Fall mega sympathischer als der komische Wagner.
Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon. Even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber.
Ja, zum Glück kennt er die Herausforderungen nicht, ne? Sonst könnte er sich ja selber eine Frage abholen.
The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last.
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium.
Geheimessenzerz.
If I remember correctly,
Das ist
Lady
schon wieder.
Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work,
Okay,
but
göttliche Auge,
if
kann
you
man
stick
wie
with
göttliche
it,
Sicht
you'll
machen.
find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier.
Ja, wie soll
It's all
man
but
das
unheard
finden?
of on the market. I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff.
Okay.
Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Ja, gut, wahrscheinlich mit dem göttlichen Auge, ha?
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain.
Und da steht sie,
I hear
in
the view
Persona.
there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Ja, da hast du recht, 20 Minuten haben wir noch. Würde ich doch sagen, auf geht's. Ja, soll das sein? Ganz kurz, ich will auf jeden Fall mal ein... Nicht dahin. Hier will ich hin. Nein. Oh. Hier würde ich gerne hin. So, Truppe. Ich würde gerne mal in der Truppe jemanden austauschen. Und zwar hier die Rose gegen sie.
Let's finish this quickly.
Gegen Kenjing. So, und da hinten sollen wir hin. So, dann gucken wir doch mal hier.
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top.
Okay, du kannst klettern? Na dann. Die waren wir auch schon mal wegen der Kanne. Vorher.
This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise.
Hast recht. Schön ist es.
No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place.
Ja, und die gar nicht drin ist, die hat da bestimmt auch was mit zu tun. Zufall, hm? Ja,
What's
ist
the
klar.
story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Mhm.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious
Keine
monster
Reaktion.
told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work. Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place.
Ruhig, Paimon. Das ist immer noch angeblich nur eine
But the
Geschichte.
monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
Mhm.
No, don't do it, little girl.
Geht er voll mit.
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation.
Ja.
When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor.
Hört sich nach Shehi an.
Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be.
Doch, ich glaube schon.
I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable.
Ja, da hast du ja die Zeitzeugin so gesehen, ne?
When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story. The idea.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Yeah, los, Paimon. Lieg schon mal vor. So. Hier soll es schon irgendwo sein, ja, dann oben. Da ist ein Geosiegel. Ein Splitter jetzt. Bam. Number one. Aha. Alles gut, die finden wir so.
Star Splinter Iron. Now we just need to find that Symposium.
Genau, wir fragen jetzt mal hier
I saw a
nach.
village on our way here. Master Zhong said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Fangen wir mit dem Typen da an. Jetzt einfach so spontan sagen, weil er einfach so ein Ding über den Kopf
There
hat.
really is someone here.
Ah, guck mal, den kennen wir doch.
Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something?
Der Bart fehlt. Was?
He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Sybrosium.
Is he trying
Was
to
will er?
tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here.
Sieht doch ganz schön kaputt aus, ne?
Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shen He.
Okay.
Shin, you're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years?
Okay, das war wohl das Dorf, gehe ich mal davon
I'm
aus.
sorry, I don't know how to find Sybrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village.
Kann einfach mal reden.
This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Ja, mach ich mir auch nicht.
Okay.
Die ist ja Verwandtschaft von
Let's see
ihr.
what we can find in this village.
Okay, dann. Oh, einfach mal so ein Schmetterling weggesnackt. Hat man hier irgendwas? Da hinten leuchtet was schön. Nicole zum
The
Dorfumzug.
remains of a god. An abandoned village. Mount Tianheng.
Wir lebten im Osten des Dorfes eine Exorzistenfamilie, aber nach etwa 2 Wochen starb die Mutter an einer Krankheit. Die kleine Tochter wurde vermisst und kurz darauf erhängte sich der Vater an einem Baum im Hof seines eigenen Hauses. Es wurde bestätigt, dass die Überreste eines bösen Aschons in dem Dorf gefunden wurden. Die Dorfbewohner sind in Panik, da niemand sicher ist, ob die Überreste des Aschon endgültig verschwunden sind. Sei vorsichtig, wenn du dich in diesem Gebiet aufhältst.
Does this mean that the true story of the divine damsel of devastation happened right here? The time frame certainly matches. So it seems we're in the right area. Let's keep looking around.
Jo, machen wir doch. Yunjin. Da ist noch was. Gucken wir mal hier.
What's this?
Zerrissene Aufzeichnung. Der Arzt hat gesagt, du seist schwer krank. Mach dir keine Sorgen. Ich werde alles geben, was ich habe, um dich zu retten. Mein Herz tut weh, wenn ich sehe. Achso, ist das immer noch der Arzt? Was weiß ich. Wie du immer erschöpfter wirst und deine Krankheit nicht mehr zu behandeln ist. Mir sehr wünschte ich könnte den Schmerz für dich ertragen. Du hast gesagt, dass du in diesem Leben nichts bereust und dass du dir nur wünschst, dass mich Gott, dass ich mich gut um Shinhe kümmere. Aber wenn du nichts bereust, warum die Tränen? Ich weiß nicht, was ich in letzter Zeit getan habe. Obwohl ich noch atme, fühle ich mich komplett ausgelaugt. Ich habe alle alten Texte gelesen, die ich in die Finger bekommen konnte, um nach Wegen zu suchen, dich zu retten. Aber es ist völlig sinnlos. Endlich habe ich es gefunden. Es war was? Es war Min Jung. Er hatte das Buch, das dich retten konnte, versteckt gehalten. Ich nahm es und folgte den Anweisungen, um einen Gott zu beschwören und ein Opfer darzubringen. Der Gott erschien. Ich sagte ihm, dass ich bereit sei, mein Leben gegen deines zu tauschen. Er schwieg und zeigte auf unsere Tochter, Shinhe. Der Gott sagte, ihr Schicksal sei es, den Fluch des Unheils zu tragen und dass sie dazu neige, denen, die ihr nahestehen, Schaden zuzufügen. Der Gott sagte auch, dass sie vielleicht sogar die Ursache für deinen Tod war. Da es nun einmal so war, dachte ich, ich sollte. Ich habe sie in der Höhle zurückgelassen, die der Gott erwähnt hatte. 3 Tage sind vergangen und immer noch keine Nachricht. Das Warten macht mich unruhig, ein unheilvolles Gefühl befällt mich. Es tut mir leid, meine Liebe. Verzeih mir. Du auch, Shinhe. Bitte verzeih mir, wie dumm ich war, wie blind. Ich möchte mich bei euch entschuldigen, persönlich. Das ist die wahre göttliche Jungfrau der Verwüstung, vermute ich.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel?
Hm.
Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier.
Weil du deine Person und deine Rollen halt eben kennst, Yunjin.
According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father.
Ja, heftig.
Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it.
Und trotzdem hat sie laut der Adeptin ja sehr mutig gekämpft.
Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
Das ist deine Entscheidung.
We looked everywhere, but still no mention of Sabrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Ja, wir gehen nochmal over there. Oh. Es tut mir gerade leid, Leute, aber da muss ich leider hin. Weil ihr wisst ja, ihr habt es ja vorhin irgendwann in den letzten Folgen irgendwann gesehen, ich brauche halt eben noch ein bisschen Kohlapis für die gute Heijing. Verschiedenes über Steine und Felsen. Die in Geheimessenzerz eingravierte Magie lässt nicht so leicht nach. Manche glauben, dass dieses Gestein eine Brücke zwischen den Lebenden und den Toten ist. Geheimessenzerz zu finden ist jedoch nicht einfach. Du musst zur richtigen Zeit am richtigen Ort sein. Die Legende besagt, dass du Geheimessenzerz finden kannst, wenn du in der Dämmerung... Oh Mann! In der Dämmerung in der Mitte des Sees südlich vom Tihang-Berges stehst und in Richtung der untergehenden Sonne schaust. Okay.
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Sabrosium.
Dann würde ich sagen, machen wir das doch. Ja. Können wir gerne machen. So, wir müssen gerade noch mal eine Sache machen. So, dieses blöde Seeli da hinten rüberjagen. Wir wissen ja, dass da hinten irgendwo dieser Seli-Hort war. Na komm. Ich hoffe, das scheiß Vieh fliegt hier rüber. Auf. Na, wie gesagt, wenn ich jetzt gerade hier bin, sowas, das nehme ich natürlich mit. Macht hier auch Sinn. Und natürlich oben. Gerade wo man mal runterspringt. So, gut. Wir sind fündig geworden, junge
One
Frau.
year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti.
Adepten, ja, aber für dich als Mensch?
So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end.
Okay, also er bereut es immerhin wirklich, aber... Ja. Kann man das wirklich wieder gut machen? So viel Qualen und die Einsamkeit, die Gefühle, die sie erlitten hat.
Shenhe, look. This tells us how to find Sybrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Sei du lieb, Yunjin.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts. So
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
It's okay. I like your version. My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will.
Ich auch. Ich bin mir da auch sicher.
In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhe, Yunjin, cut the chit-chat. Let's go. We can't let someone else beat us to it.
Paimon, sei lieb. Du gehst wieder in die stille Ecke, ich sag's dir. So. Enten geben bestimmt auch gutes Geflügel ab, hm? So, hier in dem Busch warten wir jetzt scheinbar bis ca. 17:30 Uhr. 17:29 wird bestimmt auch gut sein. Wird schon passen. Und die Ingame-Zeit geht hier zum Glück relativ zügig. Sag ich ja, die Minute. Soll jetzt hier das Erz sein? Gleich auch wieder oben, ha? Oh.
That's everything we need. Let's head back and report in.
Und das reicht? Nur die?
Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
Oh. Was steht der da? So steht er da.
What brings you here?
Das wollte ich dich
Have
gerade
they found a
fragen.
solution to the danger in the sea?
Gefährten des Meeres?
Ningguang didn't tell you. Something has happened in Guyan Stone Forest. According to the contract, as an Adeptus, I should not get involved for now.
Okay.
But these things can be unpredictable. I have a contingency plan of my own.
Tio ist also...
Only a single mountain lies between here and Liyue Harbor. If things get out of control, I will defend this place myself.
Gut zu wissen. Ist halt nur die Frage, was weiß sie, was sie uns nicht mitgeteilt hat? Wir werden es wohl erfahren.